Hey mama, my name is Ella Dove and you're joining me at MOMDAY Studio for this mobility flow specifically designed for breast or bottle feeding mums. I am 3 months postpartum with my daughter Coco. We are breastfeeding, and if you're like me, you might need some opening up of that chest, some mobilizing through the spine and the hips. This is a feel-good flow. You don't need any equipment for this, just your beautiful selves. And when you're ready, let's jump into it. We're gonna start in an all fours position. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath those hips. And we're gonna start with a little bit of wrist mobility. So point your fingertips back towards your heels. Now you can stay here, or you can shift your weight back slightly towards your heels. I'm talking just millimeter rocks here, and you should feel that really nice stretch through the forearms and through the wrists. Just being really gentle here. Keep breathing. We can get often wrist pain as mums from just awkward holding positions and carrying a lot. So just stretching out those forearms, getting some movement into the wrists can feel really nice. Okay, next we're gonna point our fingertips straight out to the side, and just really gently again, you're gonna rock your weight one side and then over to the other side. Nice job. You can do some little circles here. And then we're going to come back into a more neutral position with the fingertips pointing forward. Same thing, we're just going to go for some little circles, just being really gentle here. Nice small circles one way and then the other way. Good, and then you're going to sit yourself back onto your bum, and we're just going to do those wrist circles away from the mat, just one way and the other way. And then we're going to interlace our hands behind our back, and you're going to extend the arms, opening up through the chest. If you want a little bit more, you can work on getting your palms together to touch, to open the chest a little bit more. And just easy breathing here, feeling that nice stretch and opening. This can be really great for breast or bottle feeding mums, where we get a lot of shortening and tightness in our chest. So just creating that length and opening. You can come into a little bit more of a forward fold here if you want to. Nice job. And then I'm going to take my right arm, I'm going to reach that up and place it on my left or opposite ear. And I'm just going to let the weight of my arm kind of pull my neck to the side, feeling that nice stretch. You can drop the chin down towards the chest to feel more of a stretch, just kind of playing around with any areas in the neck where you're holding any tension. And then release the hand. We're going to do the same thing over on the other side. Nice job. And then we're going to keep our knees out nice and wide, and you're going to walk your hands forward, coming into a child's pose. Drop the forehead down to the floor. Reach those fingertips as far away from you as you can, feeling a nice stretch through the back. And then we're going to do something a little bit different here. You're going to turn your palms up towards the ceiling in this child's pose. And again, you should feel a nice stretch through the shoulders, maybe even through the wrists and the forearms. And you're going to take a nice 360 breath into the rib cage, thinking about expanding the ribs through the front, through the back, through the sides, gently pressing down on the pelvic floor as you inhale. And then exhale, just let everything recoil. On your next inhale, you can visualize a balloon inside your rib cage, expanding the rib cage at 360 degrees. That balloon's going to gently press down on the pelvic floor to lengthen those muscles. And then exhale, release. Nice job. Walk your hands over to the right side, left hand on top of the right, feeling a nice side body stretch. Same thing, we're going to inhale here, breathing into this lateral rib cage. And exhale out through the mouth, let that air go. Back through center, same thing over on the other side. So right hand on top of the left, breathing into that right side body. Good job. back through center. From here, we're gonna pull back up into our all fours position, reset your alignment here, and we're just gonna work on some cat-cows, but just with the lumbar spine. So the neck and the upper back stay where they are, and we're just gonna go for some tilts here, tipping the pelvis forward, and then tucking the tailbone under. You can visualize your pelvis as a ball. So we're gonna scoop the water up and then spill the water out. Just isolating that lumbar spine here with these pelvic tilts. And then when you're ready, we're gonna take it into full cat-cows, bringing in the whole spine here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. Exhale, rounding through the back, tucking that tailbone, tuck the chin. I like to think about pressing my pinky fingers into the floor to spread out through those shoulder blades. Good. And just working through those two cat-cow shapes, just with your own breath. And then we're gonna come back into a neutral. So somewhere in between your cat and your cow, we're gonna take our right arm, you're gonna thread it underneath your left, dropping your chest, dropping your shoulder and your ear down to the floor. And then we're gonna open up, place the back of the hand on the head, and then threading under. Nice job. Good. Exhale to curl under, and then thread through. Nice job. Open up, inhale, and exhale, curl. Good. Back to your all fours position. We're going to do the other side. So threading that left arm under, drop the shoulder and the ear down to the floor, and then hand on the back of the head, open up. Nice, that nice thoracic rotation. Again, so important for breast or bottle feeding mums to get a full range of motion through that thoracic spine. Good. Try and keep the hips where they are. Avoid kind of cheating or forcing this movement. We want all of that rotation to come from the upper mid back. Last one here. Nice job. And then you're going to lift yourself all the way up to a tall kneeling position. We're going to take our right leg and you're going to come forward. So we're in a half kneel. From here, you're going to think about tucking the tailbone under, and then we're going to push the hips forward, and you should feel a really nice stretch through your hip flexor on that left side. Option to stay here, or you can reach that left arm up and over, coming into a little side body stretch. And again, breathing into that lateral rib cage. Good. Hands on the hips, pull back, coming into a hamstring stretch. Flex that foot. Good. Pull forward, tuck the tailbone, push the hips through, reach that arm up. Good. Pull back, hamstring stretch. Nice job. Staying in this position, we're going to bring that hand down to the mat, and we're going to extend our right arm up to the sky, coming into an easy twist here. Good job. Push yourself all the way back up. Tall kneeling position, and we're going to go for that switch. So left leg forward this time. Tuck that tailbone under, push the hips through. Nice job. Option to stay here or reaching that arm up and over. Breathing into that lateral rib cage. Feel those ribs expand as you inhale. Good. Hands on the hips, pull back, coming into that hamstring stretch. Flex that foot. Good. Pull forward. Hip flexor. Breathe, pull back. Hamstring. One more of these. Nice job. Pull forward. Bring that right hand down to the mat, coming into our easy twist here. Nice job. Framing that front foot, and then we're gonna tuck that back toe. You're gonna press your hands down into the ground, coming into a down dog here. So nice and active through those hands, and we're just gonna pedal out through the backs of the legs. So bending one knee, drop the opposite heel down to the floor, and then switch. Feeling a stretch through the backs of the legs, through the calves. You can kind of do whatever feels good here for you. Maybe you want to come onto the outside edges of the feet here. Whatever feels good for you. Nice job. And then we're going to lower our knees down to the floor, and you're going to roll over, coming onto your bum. And from here, we're gonna have our feet out really nice and wide in front of us. We're just gonna drop one knee in towards the midline, working that nice internal rotation at the hip, and then switch. Nice job. We're gonna bend our knees over to the right side, and we're going to come into this 90-90 position. So 90-degree bend with that front leg, 90 degrees with the back leg. You're going to square off your hips, square off your shoulders, reach up really nice and tall through the crown of the head, slightly tucking the chin. And then we're just going to go for a nice forward lean over this front leg. Option to stay here. You can also bring those forearms down to the ground. You should feel a nice stretch through the outside of the hip. Nice job. And then we're going to lift back up, and we're going to rotate, twist over that back leg now. So we're coming into internal rotation again here. And then we're just going to switch between the two, leaning over that front leg and leaning over that back leg. And then hands behind you, let's switch those legs. So 90-degree bend at the front, 90-degree bend at the back. Square off the hips, square off the shoulders, reach up tall through the crown of the head, slightly tuck the chin, just to elongate through the spine here. And then we're gonna lean over that front leg. Good. Option to come down to the forearms. And breathe. With every inhale, find length. And with every exhale, can you sink a little bit deeper into the floor? Notice whether you're gripping your eyebrows or your jaw or your glutes. So just try to soften and relax every muscle. Good job. Push yourself up, and then we're going to rotate over that back leg, internal rotation here. And then through the front leg. Then you're going to swing yourself around, and we're going to lay on our tummies. So lay yourself all the way down to the floor. Now, option, you can come onto the forearms here, and you can stay in this position. We're coming into extension with the spine. If you want a little bit more, you can bring your hands to the outside of your chest, and you can push the ground away, lift your chest all the way through. Pressing your hips down into the floor. You can gaze up to the ceiling here, or you can keep your neck long and tuck the chin. Nice job. One more cycle of breath here. And then you're going to lower yourself all the way down to the ground. We're going to come into a tent shape with our right hand, and you're going to slide your left hand out so that your hand is in line with your shoulder. And from here, we're going to pick up our right leg, and you're going to swing it round. You can let the foot dangle here, or you can tap it gently down onto the floor, and you should feel a really nice chest opening stretch here. And a little twist through the spine. Nice job. Back through center. Slide that hand back in, turn out the left finger, slide that right hand out so that it's in line with the shoulder, and then we can pick that leg up and over. Again, feeling that nice stretch through the chest, nice rotation through the spine here. Good job. Back through center. Tenting out both of the hands this time. Lift the chest, and then we're going to drop one shoulder down towards the ground. Lift back through, and then the other shoulder, drop it down towards the ground. Good, and lower all the way down. Okay, push yourself all the way up, and we're gonna come onto our bum. You're gonna find yourself in just an easy seat here. We're gonna bring our forearms and our palms to touch, and then we're gonna opening up through the chest, and then we're gonna slide our arms up overhead. Imagine that you have a wall behind you, and you wanna keep your arms pressing against the wall. And then close. Open the chest up. Good, slide those arms overhead. Open through the chest and close. 2 more of these. Open up. Nice job. We're gonna drop our right hand down to the floor, lift that left arm up and over again, breathing into that side rib cage here. Option to drop that forearm down to the floor, nice side body stretch. Good job, lift all the way back through, placing that left hand down on the floor, reaching up and over, side body stretch. Option to bring that forearm down to the floor. Make sure that we keep both sit bones grounded, so try not to let this hip lift. Keep pushing it down. Good, and side body stretch. Nice job. Lift up, and now we're going to lower down onto our back. From here, we're going to extend both legs. You're gonna hug your right knee in towards the chest. Give it a nice big squeeze. You can kind of rock the hip from side to side here, whatever feels comfortable, opening up the knee. And then when you're ready, you're gonna drop that right knee over towards the left side, coming into this kind of supine twist. We have a 90-degree bend with that knee. And then we're gonna extend that right arm, gaze over the shoulder. I like to use my other hand to really press my knee down into the floor. And just easy breathing here. Good, nice. Now we're going to extend both arms, and we're going to bring our palms to touch over on this left side. And then we're going to open up, bring our right arm all the way back around. So this is called an open book stretch. So you can kind of imagine that your arms are like the pages of a book. We're going to open the book up and close. On your next rep, what we're going to do is keep the fingertips on the floor, and we're going to sweep overhead. Extend out and then close. Sweep the arm overhead. Close. One more of those. Sweep. And close. Back through center. Extend both of those legs. And then we're going to hug that left knee into the chest. You can kind of play around here with whatever feels good in your body. And then we're going to drop that knee over to the right side, coming into our supine twist. Gaze over the left shoulder. Just easy breathing here. Extending both the arms out, we're going to bring our palms to touch, and then we're going to open that book. Good, close. gonna go for those sweeps, sweeping all the way around, back behind you, and close. One more here. And then pushing yourself up, we're gonna come into our final pose here. It's gonna be a butterfly pose. So sitting on your bum, soles of the feet together. You can have your feet in nice and close. I like to use my hands on my toes to really open up my chest, pull my chest through, lengthen through the spine. Again, lifting up through the crown of the head like someone's pulling you up by your ponytail. Tuck the chin. You can kind of wiggle around here so that you're nice and grounded on your sit bones. You can use your hand to press your knee further into the floor, one side, and then the other side. Let's take one nice big round of breath, inhaling into the rib cage. Keep the shoulders down. And exhale out through the mouth. Let it all go. Thank you so much for joining me for that mobility flow. I love doing these classes with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, mama. If you enjoyed that mobility routine and you are looking for more postpartum videos, you can join me over on the MOMDAY app, where I have workouts, mobility, yoga, education, and so much more. I would love to move with you over there, so I'll leave the link down below.